Matt Bernie, you're taking a look at the Grade 3 Molly Pitcher from Monmouth Park Saturday afternoon, race number 8, using the new Classic PPs available on DRF.com. A little bit more functionality for those of you that are accustomed to the old Classic PPs. Here you can go through a little bit more sort of in-depth stuff that you can dive into, statistics. You can still print them out the way that you like to. You want to go through, mark up whatever you want. You can still do all that, but you do get an added layer of interactive features with the new Classic PPs. We'll go through this field, mile and 16th on the main track. To be honest, I thought this would be a very fun race to go over. Thought this is usually a pretty wide open race year in and year out. And then I found out that Midnight Bisou was running. And right or wrong, I lost a lot of interest in trying to figure out a way to bet this race because, simply put, she's just way the horse to beat. Take a look at her overall record. She's never been out of the money in 15 lifetime starts, 9 times a winner, 8 for 8 at a mile and a 16th, coming off of just a blowout victory in the Grade 1 Ogden Phipps on Belmont Stakes Day. She's just way the horse to beat in a spot like this, and I think it's going to take a combination of her regressing in a pretty major way and some of these other girls stepping up by leaps and bounds in a fashion that they've never done before in order for Midnight Bisou to lose this race. Nonetheless, we will go through, touch on some of the other horses in here. I will start down on the inside. Pacific Wind for Chad Brown. I've liked her for a long time. I liked her when she was out in Southern California. Just doesn't seem like she's ever really improved. She's a low sort of 90 buyer type of horse. Simply put, not fast enough to win in a race like this. Maybe you could use her underneath. Coach Rocks comes into this race in good form. Most recently a blowout winner of an N2X race down at Churchill Downs for Dale Romans. Came over a sloppy sealed track. We know that she can handle that. Doesn't look like you get that on Saturday at Monmouth. Does look like it's going to be a bit of a scorcher down there. But again, she's another one from a numbers standpoint. Doesn't look like she really ever took a step forward from early on in her 3-year-old form to where she is now. She's just lived in that low to mid 80 range. Again, not fast enough to win. Midnight Bisou kind of already laid out the case here. There's really not a lot to knock. The only thing I would throw out there as a little bit of a caveat or a little bit of a let's say a peculiarity, I kind of feel like she should just be running in Grade 1s now at this point. Now, perhaps this is nothing more than a means to an end to get her to Saratoga, to get her to that showdown in the personal ensign with a horse like Elate. If that's the case, again, maybe at 80%, she can still win this race because she's just she's that good and she's that much better than everyone else. But I do find it a little bit peculiar. Nonetheless, her speed figures, they speak for themselves. What she's done all speaks for itself. Midnight Bisou way the horse to beat. And if you're curious about workouts and things of that nature, you get the 6 most recent ones here. But if you'd like to see all of them, you click on this little tab and it gives you the entirety, all of her lifetime workouts. You want to see fewer races. You only want to see 6 of them. Click on that, you only get the last 6 running lines. So you can do a number of different things with the new functionality and the new Classic PPs. Electric Forest, if I was so inclined to try to beat Midnight Bisou, it would be with Electric Forest for Chad Brown. I've liked this filly for a long time. I made her a best bet in the Rampart. I thought she just had a bad trip where she was just boxed in. There was nowhere to go. Comes back in the Double Dog Dare, gets the job done. Both of those runs over sloppy sealed tracks, but we know that she can run over a fast main strip. She doesn't have to have the lead, but she can be forwardly placed. She's another one. She's paired up by her tops, but she is so far behind a horse like Midnight Bisou, nearly 20 points slower. She would need to jump up into, I think, at the very least, a mid-90, if not a high 90, and have Midnight Bisou regress 5, 6, 7 points to have any chance. If I'm going to take a shot against her, against Midnight Bisou, it would be with Electric Forest. Having said that, I would pick Electric Forest second behind Midnight Bisou. Varanasi for Todd Pletcher most recently, 2 most recent races. Back-to-back victories, gate-to-wire fashion, 1 at 5.5, 1 at a 2-turn mile. The run down at Monmouth most recently doesn't look like it's anything spectacular, but she did some decent enough things. You've also had a decent effort come out of that race. For what it's worth, the 4th place finisher was the next out winner with an 87 buyer. Again, another one that just needs to take her game to a significantly different level, although there's a real chance that she could be controlling speed unless Electric Forest wants to go and make life miserable early. The number 6 is Sun Studio, another Pletcher entrant, another one that just looks a little bit slow on paper, no match for Breaking Bread. In the most recent run, I say no match, she was only a neck behind, but they were 3.5 lengths behind Pink Sands coming out of that Lady Secret. Again, I suppose a forward move second off the bench is possible. She just is much slower than a horse like Midnight Bisou. I sound like a broken record, but it kind of stands for all these girls in here. Cosmic Burst is a nice 4-year-old filly for Donnie Von Hemel. Most recently, got back to a good effort. Didn't get back to the winner's circle, but a solid effort at a 1-turn mile down at Churchill. She has done some good things throughout her career. The problem is, again, she is just on the slow side. A career best figure of 86. She'll need a lifetime best in order to win in a spot like this. Breaking Bread. On the far outside, the number 8 for Jorge Navarro. A fine effort in the most recent run, the Lady Secret. She is now multiple stakes placed, but through 21 lifetime starts, a career best buyer of 84. Sure, she can be relatively close to the pace, but I just think she's way up against it in a spot like this. Breaking Bread, I have a hard time making a case for her as a win contender. And again, where does that really leave me? I mean, I'm not breaking any news here, but Midnight Bisou's supposed to win this race, even if she's at 80 or 85%. If this is nothing more than a tune-up to get ready for the big race with a late up at Saratoga. But Midnight Bisou, she's supposed to win this race. If I was going to take a shot against her, I would go with Electric Forest. Those are the two ones in here for me. I'm going to go 3-4 in the Grade 3 Molly Pitcher. If you're curious about what other handicappers have to say about this race, you click on News and Analysis. You get any sort of a story. We have this one filed by Jim Dunleavy. And then you see the analysis from Kenny Peck, selections from other daily racing form handicappers, including Byron King. And then when you're ready to go, when it comes post time, log into your DRF Bets account, place your bets here. You get the live video, click Bet Now, one-stop shop. You are good to go. Everything is all set for you on DRF Bets. Check out the new Classic PPs over on DRF.com. You can take a look at all the races from Monmouth on Saturday, including the Grade 1 Haskell. This race number 8, the Grade 3 Molly Pitcher, featuring Midnight Bisou. Mile and 16th, scheduled post time, 3:27 Eastern. Good luck.